On Christmas, the brightest night of the year, something truly chilling occurs. Ancient texts and folk legends agree. They say the world of the living and the dead merges then. But why does the veil between worlds thin during this celebration? Christmas. For many, it's a time of magic. It means cozy family moments. We see bright lights and gifts. We look forward to its warmth. It helps us forget our daily rush. But what if this familiar scene hides something far older? What if it's more unsettling? What if the brightest holiday has a dark side? A past few people remember. Thousands of years ago, people believed something. The sun was dim then. Nights were long and cold. The line between our world and the dead's world blurred. The veil grew thin, almost transparent. The departed could return then, or at least they could make their presence known. These weren't just fairy tales. They were deep, almost forgotten beliefs. They still live within the heart of Christmas. Do you believe the veil between worlds thins at Christmas? Share your thoughts and stories in the comments. But why did the winter solstice become this starting point? It's the darkest time of the year. Why did it breed these eerie legends of spirits? And how did ancient, sometimes bloody rituals link to the dead? How did they become our bright Christmas celebration? It's not that simple. Long before Christmas, people celebrated the winter solstice. It was the longest night. The sun seemed to die, then be reborn. Ancient people believed this. The boundary between the living and dead almost vanished then. It was a time of new light, but also deep fear. If spirits could return, who would come? What would their intentions be? Pagan rituals were often eerie and mysterious. They aimed to appease these entities. They tried to placate the dead. This kept them from harming the living. So, our bright holiday actually grew from darker traditions. Survival was key, not gifts. People lived in a world open to the supernatural. While we celebrate Christmas, medieval peasants trembled. They lived in fear. They knew the veil vanished on these nights. The dead came for their own. These weren't just legends. In medieval Europe, Christmas was more than a holiday. It was a time when people literally froze with fear. They believed the dead returned during these nights, especially during Yuletide. Not friendly ghosts from stories. No, these were souls seeking something. Shadows that could bring misfortune. Peasants locked their doors. They covered their windows. No one wanted to meet what lurked outside. Folklore teems with tales of ghosts. They wandered villages. Lost souls knocked on doors. People performed protective rituals. They left an extra plate at the Christmas table. This was for a spirit. They hoped a full spirit would leave the living alone. This ancient belief in merging worlds ran deep. It still echoes in our holidays today. If you love such mysteries and riddles, subscribe to Mysteries of the Spirit. Don't miss new stories of the unknown. We've delved into ancient beliefs, but it gets even more fascinating. How did these eerie beliefs impact our modern traditions? What if people didn't just fear the dead? What if they actively tried to reach them? For centuries, girls performed Yuletide rituals. They hoped to peer beyond the veil. Sometimes, they saw things they shouldn't have. When the veil thinned, people didn't just hide. Many tried to break through it. Young girls especially. They hoped to learn their fate. They wanted to see their future spouse. Yuletide fortune-telling rituals were such attempts. They were echoes of ancient pagan rites. Imagine a dark room, only a candle lights a mirror. A girl gazes at the flickering reflection. She tries to see her beloved's face. But sometimes something else appears from the mirror's depth. Or consider wax divination. Melted wax pours into water. Strange shadows form. People try to read the future in them. These rituals were full of hope and terror. The answer might not be what they expected. Sometimes, peering beyond the veil, they saw things they shouldn't. This left a deep mark on their souls. 9 out of 10 people know Dickens' A Christmas Carol. But few realize something. This book wasn't just a story. It was a powerful force. It forever linked Christmas with ghosts, and it changed everything. We've seen how ancient beliefs tied Christmas to the dead. But one person took those vague fears. He turned them into something far more powerful. He etched ghosts into the history of the brightest holiday. That was Charles Dickens and A Christmas Carol. Before him, spirits roamed folklore, of course, but they weren't so closely tied to Christmas. This book was a turning point. It showed ghosts could be more than evil. They could be guides. Think of Marley, bound in chains, or the 3 spirits of Christmas. They guide Scrooge through his life. These powerful images made millions worldwide reconsider the holiday. His story redefined Christmas itself. It added an eerie yet instructive layer. This brilliant move cemented the holiday's mystical aura. We've revealed how history and literature linked Christmas to the spirit world. Now, get ready. It's time for the most chilling modern legends. They will make you question reality. We've dived deep into history. We've explored classic literature too, all to understand Christmas's link to the dead. But prepare yourselves. The most chilling stories happen right now in our modern age. Imagine Christmas night. Your home is full of holiday cheer. Then, in complete silence, you hear a strange whisper. It's right behind you. Chills run down your spine. You know for certain you're alone in the room. We've seen how ancient roots and books like Dickens cemented Christmas's eerie reputation. But don't think these are just old tales. The modern world, with all its tech, is full of blood-curdling stories. Many happen during the holidays. Online, on forums, people share the unexplainable. Stories of strange shadows in empty rooms. Voices calling your name when you're home alone. Or old family photos suddenly falling from walls. Sometimes it's just a feeling of presence, a cold breeze. These stories are sometimes vague, sometimes terrifyingly specific. They show us something. Belief in an open veil between worlds hasn't vanished. It has simply adapted. It still stirs imagination. It makes us look over our shoulder on the brightest night. What if these eerie Christmas ghost stories aren't just coincidences? What if our brain tricks us during the darkest time? This is a secret science isn't eager to reveal. So, we've discussed ancient legends. We've heard modern tales that quicken the heart. But there's another reason Christmas draws the supernatural. It lies right inside our heads. Think about it. Winter. Short days, long dark nights. During these weeks, we often feel unique emotions, holiday bustle, nostalgia for those past, the anticipation of miracles. All this makes us more receptive. Our brain, tired from cold and darkness, starts searching for meaning, perhaps where there isn't any. Random shadows seem like figures. House creaks sound like footsteps. It's pure psychology. We ourselves, sometimes unconsciously, create this mystic atmosphere. We feed ancient fears and beliefs. So perhaps the afterlife doesn't open out there. Maybe it's right in our minds. We're almost at the end of our story. But before we finish, let's understand something. Why is this ancient mystery still so important to us? Wait, we've journeyed through centuries of mystery and fear. Before we end, consider this. Why does this ancient, eerie belief still impact each of us so deeply? We've traced this eerie thread from ancient rituals to modern legends, from medieval fears to Dickensian ghosts. Here's what matters. This deep belief isn't just superstition. It says the boundary between worlds thins at Christmas. It reflects our most human desire, the wish to believe death isn't the final word, that our loved ones, who left this world, can still be near. Especially during these special, magical days, it's how we cope with fear of the unknown. We find hope where there seems only cold and emptiness. This mystery makes Christmas unique. It's a holiday of light, but also an eternal, stirring puzzle about life and what lies beyond. If this eerie link between Christmas and the dead made you think, hit like. For new, even more shocking mysteries, subscribe to Mysteries of the Spirit.